Good morning, Arizona. It is Saturday and 6:30. It is going to be another scorcher out there. The best place to be in this type of weather should obviously be inside. Even if you're going to your car, you need some water. So just stay inside. That's what our Kim Quintero is doing this morning. She is in the spa with one of the best assignments you're going to see this morning all day long. Kim, good morning. All right, Kim, thank you. Check this out. This is new video of a Valley officer-involved shooting from back in December. A woman suspected of fraud shoots at a deputy inside the Food City near 32nd Street and McDowell. The video shows the woman as she pulls out a gun before getting through the front door. The officer says she was pointing the gun over her shoulder at the deputy. The deputy then shot the woman 2 times. Along with this video, we also got some of the 911 call.
911, what is your emergency?
Deputy involved shooting on 32nd Street and McDowell at Food City.
Did you see who shot her?
Yes, it was a police officer, an off-duty police officer.
Frisbee is recovering and has a court date for this summer. Her charges, attempted murder of a police officer. The attorney for the family of a toddler killed at a fire station says the incident could have been prevented. The boy died at a Scottsdale fire station back in February. 16-month-old Joey Reese was crushed between the wall and the bay doors when they automatically closed. The family hopes their request to settle for $9 million will help spark change with the fire department so that visitors who eventually come to the station will not get hurt. Take a listen to what the family attorney had to say.
A guard over the 9-inch pinch point, a barrier in front of it, a warning sign on the door, an audible or visual warning before the closure, or a word of caution from any of the fire personnel would have saved Joey Reese.
The city of Scottsdale sent this statement but did not go into details about which parts of the lawsuit they are disputing, saying the city of Scottsdale remains deeply sympathetic for the Reese family's tragic loss. As for the notice of claim, the city disputes a number of the facts it contains and will vigorously defend the matter. Right now, a $20,000 reward is being offered to find a missing Phoenix father. 52-year-old Gustavo Gonzalez disappeared back on June 10th. He was meeting with 2 men while trying to sell his truck near 35th Avenue and Dunlap. Surveillance video shows the 2 men walking in the area at the time. The men then took the truck for a test drive down the street one way and then doubled back. Gustavo's family is asking for answers.
He's a good father. He's a great husband. He's a great son. He's never been in anything. He's never had a problem with anyone in anything.
Police say the 2 guys in the surveillance video are not suspects, but police do want to talk with them. If you have any information about this disappearance, you are asked to call Silent Witness. Border Patrol agents hit another drug bust jackpot this week at the border. Agents seized nearly $10,000 worth of meth on Thursday. It was hidden inside the car. The driver was arrested. The Nevada man who allegedly forced the Hoover Dam to close last week is now being indicted on terrorism charges back here in Arizona. Matthew Wright is being held at a jail in Kingman. Police say he barricaded himself inside an armored truck at the Hoover Dam and then drove down the freeway blocking it. Officers add Wright later drove into a wash where officers eventually arrested him. The head of the Arizona Department of Corrections will be fined nearly $1.5 million. He was found in contempt of civil court. A judge says Charles Ryan failed to follow through with improvements for health care as promised in a lawsuit settlement 4 years ago. Prison inmates, some of who were battling cancer, complained that they were denied medical treatment and care. Well, check out the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office new equipment. Deputies are getting ballistic shields to stay safer. MTSO admits it might not be the right situation and tool for every call that they go on, but it will definitely add a layer of protection for deputies and the public. This morning, there is outrage from wounded warriors all across the country. Thousands of veterans are being forced to pay for insurance that they not only don't want, but also can't even use. David Martin tells us why.
In 2007, 6 weeks after Matt and Tracy Kyle were married, he was shot in the neck by a sniper in Iraq.
I currently have no feeling from the chest down or movement either. But
Still to come this morning on Good Morning Arizona, the Queen of Clean is here And she's talking about life hacks for cleaning, on how to keep your barbecue racks and your ovens in tip-top shape. Stick around, we'll be right back with more GMAX. Good morning, Arizona. It is 7 o'clock and it'll be 100 degrees this morning. So if you are headed outside, do not forget to take water, sunscreen, and everything you need to stay safe out there. Our Kim Quintero is doing it the right way. She is inside, but not at just any location. She's at the spa. Kim, how do you keep getting these fantastic assignments? When they send me out, it's usually somewhere dark. All right, Kim, thank you. I'm going to talk to my agent about getting some of these better gigs that you seem to keep getting, because apparently I'm doing something the wrong way. Kim, thank you. Well, happening today, a Red for Ed rally is back at the Capitol. People are coming together to get signatures to invest in the Red for Ed movement and to get it on the ballot. Our Jessica Parsons is joining us from the Capitol with more. Jessica, good morning. The Trump administration is working to return immigrant children to their parents. Right now, experts are warning of potentially long-term problems of separation. Some of the nation's top medical groups say trauma separation can affect a child's brain and also amounts to child abuse. That was the conclusion from both the American Academy of Pediatrics and the American Medical Association this week, that these family separations are child abuse. They say studies show separating a child from their parent activates the body's stress management system. That kind of early life stress actually changes the structure of the brain and can lead to both mental and physical health issues.
When our stress response systems start to not function properly because of toxic stressors like family separation, we then see problems in our cognitive systems, our affective systems, our systems that regulate our emotions. We can see issues through advanced adulthood with certain cancers, certain forms of morbidity and mortality.
ASU developmental scientist Rebecca White says separating a child from their parent can literally lower a kid's IQ and contribute to a greater risk of heart disease, lung disease, and stroke. She adds the issues don't necessarily resolve after the family is reunited. An Arizona attorney wants to get law enforcement to investigate the family separations as child abuse. Buddy Rake sent a letter this week to local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies notifying them of the alleged child abuse under the same law that requires teachers to report these kinds of cases. He says by formally notifying law enforcement, they now have an obligation to investigate each and every case.
The number doesn't matter, whether it's 1 or 100,000. They still have an obligation to investigate and see and determine if child abuse actually occurred.
The Arizona Attorney General's office was one of the agencies that got that letter. A spokesperson says they don't actually have that jurisdiction. She says it is up to Congress to, quote, fix the broken immigration system. All new this morning, 57 people who crossed the border illegally are safe after being rescued by Border Patrol in this extreme heat. The agents rescued the group of immigrants west of Lukeville Friday. Border Patrol says several of the people were dehydrated, but only one of them needed further medical attention. This morning, President Donald Trump is shining the light on what he called the other side of the immigration story. He brought out American families who's lost loved ones at the hands of people in this country illegally.
I brought my son. This is what I have left, his ashes. I wear his ashes in a locket. This is how I get to hug my son.
The president echoed one parent's claim that 63,000 Americans were killed by people here illegally since 2001. However, the government does not track that data. Meanwhile, federal prosecutors are dealing with the doubling of amount of cases involving immigrant children charged with minor offenses. They worry it's diverting resources from drug smuggling cases, which they are tasked to work on. Well, this viral video has been the symbol of plight with the immigrant children crossing the border and being separated from their parents after illegally coming here. The story behind this picture is quite different, though. David Begnaud explains.
We were patrolling the border. It was after 10 o'clock at night.
Border Patrol agent Carlos Ruiz was the first to encounter Sandra Sanchez and her 2-year-old daughter after they crossed the Rio Grande River into Texas.
We asked her to set the kid down in front of her, not away from her, she was right in front of her, and so we can properly search.
You can track the latest on the crisis at the border by downloading the AZ Family mobile app. It is free in the App Store. You can sign up for breaking news alerts there as well. Well, we got a great and jam-packed show for you coming up this morning on GMAS. Still ahead, a new farmers market is now opening in the valley, and it's one you can stay cool on the inside. We'll tell you where after the break.